Miss You Graham, a new spin on mourning when you miss somebody that passed away. Why do I start off with a smile when it's such a heavy topic? Because you are still living. And the whole purpose of Miss You Graham is to make your life a little easier, a little bit more shinier, happier, especially when you're going through the hardest time if you miss somebody that passed away. And sometimes it doesn't have to be that they passed away right away. It could be they passed away a long time ago, but it is an anniversary and it's a trigger and it feels like it happened all over again, and it doesn't mean some people, are upset the whole day. Some people are upset for a little while. But the point of this show and this app is to uplift and make you feel better with community, a way of transformation. There's so many proven studies on how writing journals is a way of transforming those bottled up feelings or emotions. And again, community and support is key. So thank you for joining us. All those that help and support, I really, really, really appreciate. This is everybody's. Mr. Graham is everybody's. I am the founder and CEO. My name is Patricia Frudenberg, also known as Patty. And again, I thank you for joining. I welcome all comments, suggestions. We are here to expand the development for the optimal experience. Again, this is about living your dash, and this is a tough topic, and it's basically never a good time to talk about death because who wants to go there, right? And also, it's never a good time to talk about, you know, planning of your death, but guess what? It's going to happen. And these are things that, the more you could talk about, it just gets a little bit more comfortable. And again, it's not something fun or exciting. It's something, I think probably it is, in my opinion, the worst thing that could happen is experiencing loss of a loved one. I mean, loss of any kind. Now we've had so many horrible things happen: hurricanes, earthquakes, COVID. People are losing other things, which is also devastating for multiple reasons. But the bottom line is, you don't have to be, a rocket scientist or, genius IQ to know that dealing with somebody passing away is about the bottom line. So you can only go up from there, right? If you're the one left behind, you have to go on. Your loved one doesn't want to see you upset. So today's topic, we do rotate topics of discussion and they all kind of mix in together, but the focus today is on paying tribute. And again, that's the foundation of Miss You Graham, but so is our other topics, which is tribute, cope, and share. But today we're going to focus on tribute. Okay, so what do I have in my hand? I have my phone because it's handy dandy. And as part of a subscriber to the New York Times, I'm a big fan, maybe because I'm in New York, but the New York Times has been around for ever. And they have great resources that are just archived. And if you're a subscriber, you can easily find articles from 100 years ago. It's a beautiful thing. I love the New York Times. And I was lucky enough to find a show called the New York Times Read Along. And that's independent. They just like to read the New York Times too. And they have amazing guests. Sri Srinivasan is the host, and the co-host is Neil Parag. And they have amazing production team, Carla and Julia, and it's just so many amazing people. Paula and Steve, they're all amazing team. They put a great production on. It's every Sunday morning. You could find them on YouTube and watch whenever you want, or listen. But they interview so many times. They have a guest. They always have a guest on most of the time, and they interview amazing people from the New York Times. And it's interesting that I've learned that a lot of the journalists from the New York Times, whether they were in travel or sports, a lot of them are retired from the New York Times, that they came back as guests just to be on that show. And again, Sri Srinivasan is independent, but he does do the read along. And a lot of times, like I said, the guests are from the New York Times. And it's interesting that when they go through the obituary section, most of the time they do go, and I know Shri's a big fan of the obituary because it's something quite interesting. Like all of a sudden you become like quite curious on people's legacy, and I of course think that's a beautiful thing. I'm the founder of Mistugram. I believe in carrying legacies on. I mean, I was inspired to create Mistugram from people sharing their stories while I was doing their hair. A lot of times they were going to memorials or funerals, and when they had that space to be able to share, I saw the transformation of how much relief, even if it was through tears, that they actually felt better. It felt good to either talk about how they feel or share their legacy. But it's, again, the interviews, it seems to be a standard that at some point everybody has to do an obituary. And when they share, these journalists share about writing obituaries, a lot of times they have to write advanced obituaries for people that have been public figures for a long time, and they might be coming to the end of their life. Again, nobody can escape this. We all hope to live a really, really long time. I always wish for health and longevity for everybody, but the truth is, nobody really knows. And at some point, we know it's going to happen. So in the New York Times, they all basically said along the same lines. Like the thought of having to write it was like, oh, this heaviness, right? But then when they went to write them, even if it was in advance and they got to get information from their families, something happened to them. They felt warm and fuzzy, basically. They said it was beautiful to be able to write the story of somebody's life, basically in a couple of paragraphs. So you really got to focus on the highlights. But everybody has kind of like something that is special to them that they leave behind, that legacy. I don't care if it's a recipe. I don't care if it's a word. There's always some telltale sign of somebody's legacy. So the New York Times, as a subscriber, here I got a little off course today, but hopefully you could stay with me. I do share randomly because you're allowed, as a subscriber, to share so people could read the full article about 10 times a month. So you could subscribe and then you could share if you want to be a subscriber. But I am a subscriber, so I just shared right before the show on my Facebook and my Twitter account, Mr. Graham, on Facebook and Twitter. And yeah, you'll see I posted a Melvin Van Peebles, champion of New York Black cinema. He died at 89. This was posted an hour ago. The New York Times digital version. And again, I just want to disclaim that I do not work with the New York Times. I'm just a big fan. That the digital version, now I subscribe to the print too, because that has its own beauty. I love the print. Again, that's another day, another topic. But the digital is really gives you up to date. I mean, the one I just posted, I decided to post that one because it was just posted 1 hour ago. So people that have print have not received this news yet. But Melvin Van Peebles, champion of New York Black cinema, dies at 89. And let's see if I could show you the picture. Let me see if it comes up. Well, let's see. Over here. Can you see? Yeah. Aw. And the filmmaker author Melvin Van Peebles in his apartment in Manhattan. That was taken in 2010. And yeah, he's a filmmaker praised as the godfather of modern black cinema and trailblazer in the American independent movies. He passed away on Tuesday. So let's see here. I'm going to share another one. This one I didn't share on my socials. But George Holliday, who taped police beating of Rodney King, he passed away 61. This was posted 2 hours ago. His shocking video, which played a key role in the prosecution of 4 officers, Yeah, that was a big one. I remember that. Yeah, he passed away young. Carmen Bathrop, soprano known for Joplin opera role. She passed away at 73. Again, that to me is young. After winning a vocal competition in 1975, she starred in Tree Monisha, which ended up on Broadway. She also sang for a senator. And then let's see who else for today. And again, the list just goes on and on and on. And that's the heaviness of life, right? That people are passing away every day. And, these people I'm naming, they lived a good life. They are, elder. For me, it's just too young. Um, but I guess it's better than seeing people under 70. I don't know what to say. I mean, this is a tough topic, but it's the reality of life. Barbara Campbell, Cook, 85, widow of the slain Sam Cooke. She passed away. Oh, they were teenage. This was a tragic story. They were teenage sweethearts, but their marriage turned tragic. And when she married the protege singer Bobby Womack, the publicity, the intense bosses, the intense booze were bad. Yeah, and the list goes on and on and on. These are the obits. I don't know if you can. Mm, I don't know if you could see that, but it just goes on and on and on, and that's the whole thing. There's the thing about the difference between Miss You Graham and something like this newspaper with the obits, even though it is nice to be informed and be able to see, the legacies. The difference is that we are not an obituary. You don't have to dig deep into the paper because I'm going to go back now to the New York Times. And this is, as much as I love the New York Times, and of course, why should the obits be at the top? But they're all the way, buried all the way down here. Again, pardon the pun, but that's just how I feel. It's like you got to go all the way down. And there's the little flower, of course, the flower with the obituary. And we're Mr. Graham is a native app. So it's just like if you're going to log on to Facebook or Twitter. And again, listen, we are a baby app, okay? This is only the beginning. It's the blossoming of this beautiful memorial site. It's not a place that you just could only pay tribute. If you want to share your thoughts or comment on somebody else or keep in a journal. But again, that's what it's about today. So I'm just going to share some more. And again, I find this not only inspirational to continue on this journey to build out this app, but also I just feel like this is my calling. The big guy up there in the sky. He said, "Huh, you're the one." So if anybody wants to join me in partnerships, I have great affiliates. It's a wonderful thing that we're doing. Amazing people are coming together for the greater of good. We have some products and services on the way. I'm currently being certified to be an end of life coach, so I will keep you posted on that. But I'm going to continue with some tributes now. So here in that, I'm going to use my looking glass. You guys remember this? Yes, I'm going to use my looking glass, and I'm just going to read lightly. This is Henry, and his nickname was Hank Russell, and New York officer and patriot. We remember you today on the day of your passing. You were a remarkable, wonderful, and loving husband, father, grandfather, and coach. Even though it has been 20 years since you have passed, we still miss you every day, and we think about you. We miss your sense of humor, your love, your family, your passion for football and current events. Forever in our hearts, your family, with love, your wife, children, and grandchildren. You see, I find that remarkable. Um, they just miss him so much. They didn't even put their name because hoping that, what, like, they're speaking him and he on this paper. And yeah, that touches my heart. That touches my heart. And you know what? Whoever wrote this, again, there's no name here. Whoever wrote this, hey, there's Mr. Graham. And you could share it with the world and it could last forever. Let's see another one. We got William Eric Goldberg. And happy New Year in heaven. Aw, happy New Year in heaven. I don't know, 21 years since you left us. Okay. You have been our angel. Thank you for watching over us. Look at that. And here we go. Lynn, you may be gone from our sight, but you are never gone from our hearts. Love you and miss you. Mom and dad, again, no names, and it's just not necessary either. The point is they just needed to get off their chest. They needed to get off their chest a message to their loved one. And again, one of my customers, well, I'm saying, oh, gosh, at least 15 years ago, way before even Facebook wasn't invented, she shared with me the loss of her daughter. It helped her to write something, sometimes daily, and that stayed with me. That stayed with me. And again, just all these stories that were shared, and then when social started coming out, and I really thought there had to be something like Miss Graham already, right? But guess what? There wasn't. And that's when it really, like, and I figured it out. Hey, I think it's supposed to be me that's supposed to do this, and here I am. If anybody knows me, it's been a long, and you know what? It's the beginning of ever. That's all I could tell you. Here we go. We got Bella and Martin. Aw, you were the most amazing parents a son could want. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years since you were both currently taken from me, 2 days apart. Oh gosh. The years do not ease the pain. You often said I was your life, but now you're mine as well. I love you and miss you both. I'm a cork floating in the ocean. Love, Brian. Oh, touches my heart. Brian, got Miss Graham. So here's Kieran. Happy birthday, son. You can. Oh, that's hard. It's already tough enough to lose a parent, which is ahead of you. So again, it has to happen. But like, darn it, a son. You continue in our lives every day. Yep, I believe that. Spirit, listen. Everybody has their opinion about what happens. Nobody really knows. Really, really, really. I mean, there are like some afterlife experiences, which I believe in because, like in the book Proof of Heaven, not believe in heaven. He's a neuroscientist, a neurodoctor. He did not believe in heaven. And read the book. He tries to prove that what he experiences wasn't real, but he couldn't prove it. It proved that it was real. That was an amazing book. I didn't want to read it because I believe in heaven, but when I read it, I was like, wow, people have to read that book. So let me see. I'll read one more. Muriel. Happy 96. Oh, that's a beautiful life. And again, too soon for me, but still a beautiful life, realistically. Muriel, happy 96th birthday. Hope you and Dad are dancing and celebrating. Aw, that's beautiful. Let me see if I have one more here. It's so hard to, I just don't want to stop. That's why I have a book too that I gotta make series because I have so many, memorials, and these are just memorials. These are not even obituaries. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It's a library, a library. But you know what? It makes me so happy that people are going the extra mile to post it in a paper that really gets thrown away. And again, it does archive in the newspapers if you have digital, but it's not the same. It's just not. It's just not. Mr. Graham is really awesome. And again, if you go on there, you might say, "Hey, this is like kind of simple." Yeah, it is. I don't know how to use it. Well, you know what? I bet you could figure it out. And number two, let me know. We have a focus group. I want to know how we can make this better. Listen, I've been a hairdresser for 30 years. That was my lane. Somehow I landed in Mr. Graham's lane, and now I'm doing my best to make it as wonderful as possible. So I want to help. I want to know how I can make it better. There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. I appreciate any feedback. Again, if you think you could be a strategic partner and you want to come and join me and our team members, come on. I invite you. So okay. All right, I think that's it because again, we could be on and on here. I'm gonna, of course, always give a shout out to our brand's slogan. Everyone wants to be remembered because I do believe this, living or transitioned. And again, we have, our company. If you really want to go gung ho, support Mr. Graham. But we do like to contribute back. We are a Prosper for Purpose company. And with all the disasters constantly going around, if you look at what the Red Cross or Red Crescent, it's the same thing. Some people not sure they know that, but it's all the same thing. The Red Cross, the Red Crescent, it's all the same. It's one. It's one united. It's amazing work that they do. I am a proud volunteer, and I do like to give back to them as well. But you are also supporting our development and expansion if you have purchased any of our products. We also have beautiful sympathy gifts, which is our celebrate mug, which you could get a personalized picture of your loved one, again with our company slogan. And there's just been a beautiful purchase by Speaker T. I really appreciate that's going for a great cause. And I don't know if a Speaker T, he ordered a whole bunch of mugs with his beautiful mom, Shannon, and it's going for a beautiful cause. Whoever buys the mugs, the money is going to go to a fund for a scholarship and for his mom, and it's for the blind. And I think that's beautiful. My grandmother, that touched my heart because my grandmother always contributed to the blind, and I often do too. That always was like a little side thing. It's not so much that like, oh, Mr. Graham donates to the blind, but just privately, I always did because that's like my grandma's thing, and she always said, oh, your eyes, your eyes. And again, if you're lucky to be able to have sight, it's a beautiful thing to have sight. It makes life a little easier. I'm not going to lie. Like, I feel like, just think of when you have a storm and the lights go off and you don't have a flashlight handy. Like, that's not easy, So kudos to anybody who doesn't have vision. We used somebody who was naturally born blind, and we were inspired because he had more fun than he went skiing. I'm afraid of skiing. Maybe it's a good thing not being able to see everything. I don't know. I don't. You gotta laugh. Everybody, come on, you gotta laugh because you know what? Like, lighten up, man. You gotta lighten up. And again, I wish everybody health, longevity, but most of all, happiness. Because it's a choice. It's not always an easy choice. And listen, I have days that I have a heavy heart. Either it's because I just heard about somebody just passing away, or I'm thinking of like the people I love that I want to just pick up the phone and call, and I can't. I might feel them. I might see a butterfly. I might see a penny. I might see a bird, but I want to actually hear their voice, and that could be very frustrating. But you know what? If you can't do that, you could at least go to Mr. Graham and share on there how you feel, or keep it private journal. So I'm going to end with a quote. Like quotes. The smallest act of kindness is worth more than the greatest intention. Oscar Wilde. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I hope I see you soon.